Displays. They're everywhere. A great display does three things: captures attention, tells a story, and makes the ordinary feel a bit extraordinary. Formula One stands for speed, risk, and precision. In combining these two, the world makes this, and this. And I'm here to fix that. Now, don't get me wrong, all of these designs do look really good, but they just feel very static. I want something that represents F1 a bit better. So, I'm going to make something that feels a lot more dynamic. And yeah, let's get back to the video. So, the plan is to make something different. After going through all of these ideas, I finalized upon this one, which is Tensegrity. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's just some really cool physics that will make the car look like it's floating in the air. Stick around till the end to find out how. Now all I need to do is define the design a bit and figure out the dimensions, and then I can start building. So here's a rough sketch of how the final model will look. I have planned to go with these two supports for the upper side so that it provides the needed strength, and also I think it looks really cool. But if it does end up breaking from here, I do have something in mind that I can fix it with. I made a rough prototype of the shape to see how it looks, and it actually helped me tweak the design a bit and make it a lot better. I was also a bit worried that such a thin piece of sunboard would not be able to handle the weight, so in the final design I doubled the thickness, hoping that it would solve the issue. So these are all the pieces that I need for the display. I just need to make another one of these pieces, which is the top support, since I'll be having two of these. So initially I was just duplicating this piece over on this side, but then I realized that would result in a lot of wastage of material. So now what I'm trying to do is squeeze in this piece over in this space here. It is a tight fit, but I think it will work since the place where it is cutting was anyways the extra increment that I had kept as a precaution. So yeah, I just had to find the right arrangement and I was able to save some valuable material. One of my favorite things about working with sunboard is how much control it gives me while cutting. Every cut is as clean as I make it, and all it takes is a simple paper cutter. Sometimes the cutter doesn't go all the way through, so I just flip the board over to see exactly where the cut needs to be finished. Now that all the pieces are cut, let's see if they fit together. Here's the base and the bottom support, and I just hope it all works out. Let's see. It's actually quite perfect. So that's how the base will look. And then this is the top base on which the car will rest. And these fit just as well. Let's go. And this looks amazing. And it should also balance pretty well. If I keep it over there, perfect. Now I think I still need to trim these. I have trimmed all of these pieces and they look great, but I think we have a small issue on our hands that we need to solve first. The thing is that I am human, and even after all the care I took to cut these slots perpendicular so that these fit in perpendicular and are not tilted, but as you can see, it's quite tilted towards this side. Now to fix that, I think if I cut diagonally on these two edges, it should work. So I'm just going to do that and see if it works out, which is really important to the whole tensegrity thing working out, as it needs to be balanced and symmetrical. Now this is day 3 of working on this project, and I cannot find the string that I had to use for this project, the nylon wire that I had. I don't know where I've kept it. I've looked all over my place. It's frustrating that I cannot find it. I'll still try to look for it. I'm really excited to paint this all up, but before that, I do need to figure out what to do with the string. After a lot of searching, I still couldn't find it.
Luckily, a friend of mine was kind enough to lend me some, so after a couple of days' delay, I could finally get back to the build. The next step was to make holes for the wire to pass through. What if I use the back of my blade to widen this groove that I've made? Does that work? I think it kind of did. There we go. It slots right in. So I've marked where I want the holes to be. Now it's actually time to poke them through. Now it's time to spray paint, and I'll do the accents on the edges later on, so I'm just coating everything black first. It is complete now, and it should work if I just get this loop in that groove. There we go. That is so cool, man. Every time that I see this thing working, it's perfect. But this is lifting up, and this is not staying up like it should. Should I test it with the weight of the car? I think I will. Whoa. Okay. Testing it the first time, it could barely hold its own weight, so I thought that tightening the strings would fix that, but even after a lot of tries, I could not get it to work with the car on top of it, as it kept falling again and again and again. I started to lose hope in this project. If it doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do. Thinking that how could I be so dumb to think that sunboard and a couple of strings would be able to hold up such a heavy car. But I didn't give up and kept trying as I couldn't see all of this work go to waste. And I think the solution to this problem may be in gluing all of this together and fixing these two flaps at a constant distance, since they have this tendency to come closer together as more weight is put upon this string. It pulls these closer together, and then the whole thing just collapses downwards. So I'll put a piece of sunboard in between them and see if that fixes the problem, and also glue all of these joints and glue the string in place, as I think it's at the perfect length right now. And hopefully that fixes the problem and I can put the car on top of it and this works, because I only barely have a couple of more hours to work on this and finish it, or else it'll just get delayed 20 more days. Even after doing all of that, I could not get it to work. I figured out that the main problem was the flexing sunboard, which I had anticipated before even starting the build and had already thought of a solution for it. The idea was simple: reinforce the bottom platform with a rigid ring that would support the structure while maintaining the illusion. The challenge was finding one. It had to be metal, strong enough to resist bending, and somewhere around 8 to 9 centimeters in diameter. So, after looking around the house for a lot of round things and even asking my mom for her bangles, which were unfortunately not the right size, I found this lid which is too big, this cardboard cylinder which is again too big. But what I think is the perfect size is this ring from this wind chime. So we would have to kill something to make something new. Throughout this process, I was never completely sure if this would actually work, but I kept solving one problem at a time, and eventually it all started coming together. Turns out the ring was the missing piece all along. So thank you for sticking around till the end. Here's the final reveal. It's not perfect and may not be exactly what I had imagined, but let's be honest, it looks insanely cool.